Crypto-Judaism is the secret adherence to Judaism while publicly professing to be of another faith. Practitioners are referred to as crypto-Jews. The term crypto-Jew is also used to describe descendants of Jews who maintain some Jewish traditions of their ancestors while publicly adhering to other faiths. The term is especially applied historically to European Jews who, outwardly or forcedly, profess Catholicism, who were also known as Anasim or Marrano. The phenomenon is especially associated with Renaissance Spain, following the June 6, 1391, anti-Jewish pogroms in the expulsion of the Jews in 1492 unless they converted. Later, under its blood purity laws, Spain restricted explorers and settlers in the New World to Old Christians, 3 generations or more. Europe. Officially, Jews who converted in Spain in the 14th and 15th centuries were known as Cristianos Nuevos, but were commonly called conversos. Spain and Portugal passed legislation restricting their rights in the mother countries and colonies. Only Christians were allowed to go to the New World. Despite the dangers of the Inquisition, many conversos continued to secretly and discreetly practice Jewish rituals. After the Alhambra decree of 1492, numerous conversos, also called Zueta, in the Balearic Islands ruled by Spain, publicly professed Roman Catholicism but privately adhered to Judaism, even through the Spanish Inquisition. They are among the most widely known and documented crypto-Jews. In Greece, Romaniata Jews have been present for a little more than 2,000 years. Greek Jews played an important role in the early development of Christianity, and became a source of education and commerce for the Byzantine Empire and throughout the period of Ottoman Greece. During World War II, their community suffered devastation in the Holocaust after Greece was conquered and occupied by the Axis powers, in spite of efforts by Greeks to protect them. In the aftermath of the war, a large percentage of the surviving community emigrated to Israel or the United States. Greek Jews today largely live side by side in harmony with Christian Greeks, according to Giorgio Romeo, president of the Greek Committee for the Jewish Museum of Greece. They continue to work with other Greeks and Jews worldwide to combat any rise of anti-Semitism in Greece. Crypto-Judaism existed also in earlier periods, whenever Jews were forced or pressured to convert to the majority religion by the rulers of places where they resided. Some of the Jewish followers of Sabbatai Zevi formally converted to Islam. Later followers of Jacob Frank formally converted to Christianity, but maintained aspects of practice of their versions of Messianic Judaism. Crypto-Jews persisted in Russia and Eastern European countries influenced by the Soviet Union after the rise of communism with the Russian Revolution of 1917. The government, which included secular communist Jews, did not force Jews to convert to the Russian Orthodox Church, but regarded practice of any religion as undesirable. Some faiths were allowed to continue under strict supervision by the regime. Since the end of communism, many people in former Soviet states, including descendants of Jews, have publicly taken up the faith of their ancestors again. The Belmont Jews of Portugal, dating from the 12th century, maintained strong secret traditions for centuries. A whole community survived in secrecy by maintaining a tradition of endogamous marriage and hiding all external signs of their faith. They and the practices were discovered only in the 20th century. Their rich Sephardic tradition of crypto-Judaism is unique. Some now profess Orthodox Judaism, although many still retain their centuries-old traditions. Before the Spanish Inquisition, according to the Jewish Virtual Library, several incidents of forced conversions happened prior to 1492 and outside of Iberia. One of the earliest conversions happened a century after the fall of Rome and was in Clermont-Ferrand, after a member of the Jewish community in Clermont-Ferrand became a Jewish Christian and was persecuted by other members of the community for doing so. The cavalcade in which he was marching persecuted his persecutors in turn. The participants in the procession then made an attack, which destroyed the synagogue completely, razing it to the grounds. Subsequently, Bishop Avertus directed a letter to the Jews in which he disclaimed the use of compulsion to make them adopt Christianity, but announced at the end of the missive, "Therefore if ye be ready to believe as I do, be one flock with us, and I shall be your pastor, but if ye be not ready, depart from this place." The community hesitated for 3 days before making a decision. Finally the majority, some 500, accepted Christianity. The Christians in Clermont greeted the event with rejoicing. Candles were lit, the lamps shone, the whole city radiated with the light of the snow-white flock. The Jews who preferred exile left for Marseille. The poet Venantius Fortunatus composed a poem to commemorate the occasion. In 582 the Frankish king Chilperic compelled numerous Jews to adopt Christianity. Again the Anisim were not wholehearted in the conversion, for some of them, cleansed in body but not in heart, denied God, and returned to their ancient perfidy, so that they were seen keeping the Sabbath, as well as Sunday. The Clermont-Ferrand conversions preceded the first forced conversions in Iberia by 40 years. Forced baptisms of Jews took place in Iberia in 616 at the insistence of Visigoth monarch Sisebut. Comparatively mild legal measures were followed by the harsh edict issued by King Sisebut in 616, ordering the compulsory baptism of all Jews. After conversion, however, the Anisim evidently maintained their Jewish cohesion and religious life. It was undoubtedly this problem that continued to occupy Spanish sovereigns at the successive councils of Toledo, representing both the ecclesiastical and secular authorities. Thus, steps were taken to secure that the children of converts had a Christian religious education, as well as to prevent the older generation from continuing to observe the Jewish rites or from failing to observe the Catholic ones. A system of strict supervision by the clergy over the way of life and movements of the Anisim was imposed. In the 12th century, Muslims in Al-Andalus forced conversions of Jews to Islam. In the 13th century, forced conversions took place in Italy, spreading as far as Apulia, where the Anisim assimilated to the point of not being recognized as Jewish. A later observer wrote, "Their forefathers were Jews who adopted Christianity 150 years ago, rather from compulsion than of their own free will." Zueta. The Zueta are a minority on the Balearic island of Majorca. They are descended almost entirely from crypto-Jews forced to convert in 1391. The term Zueta literally translates to pig in Catalan, similar to the Old Spanish term marrano, both of the same meaning. Today, they comprise a population of 20,000–25,000 on an island of 750,000. They have adhered to Roman Catholicism for centuries but have only recently seen a lessening in tensions with ethnic Mallorquins. According to some Orthodox rabbis, the majority of Zutas are probably Jewish under Jewish law due to the low rate of intermarriage by these people with outside groups. Only recently have intermarriages between the two groups been more prevalent or noticeable. Since the late 20th century, several Zutas are reported to have reconverted to Judaism. Some have become rabbis. Neophita. The Neophita were a group of crypto-Jews living in the Kingdom of Sicily, which included all of southern Italy from the 13th to the 16th centuries. Mediterranean and Asia. There have been several communities of crypto-Jews in Muslim lands. The ancestors of the Dagutuns in Morocco are thought to have kept up their Jewish practices a long time after their nominal adoption of Islam. In Iran, a large community of crypto-Jews lived in Mashhad, near Khorasan, where they were known as Jedi al-Islam. They were mass converted to Islam around 1839 after the Al-Ardad events. Most of this community left for Israel in 1946. Some converted to Islam and live in Iran. In the central Iranian village of Seba, local Muslims practice many Jewish customs, such as women lighting a candle on Friday night. Before sundown on Friday, they prepare a small fire which they leave on throughout Saturday, so as not to ignite the fire on Sabbath.